Oh, yes. Just look at all of these UFOs.
Red alert!
And that should be more like it. All right, now we finally got sound. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a shit stream. Yes, hello, happy Friday, everyone. I'm Tom King. This is the 4K Skywatching podcast. Welcome aboard. It's hot as hell here. It's like at least 106. And up on the roof, about 122 degrees on the cameras, at least. And take a look real quick. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot as hell up there. So tonight is going to be the first part of a series of different shows I'm going to do on summoners, people who claim they can summon UFOs. There's a whole bunch of them. One of them I know intimately, so we're going to talk about this one tonight. Some of the other ones I haven't met. Might be able to meet some of them. Some of them I can review from afar. So we're going to get into that show. There's a wealth of information here. Now, if these people can summon UFOs, that's a huge step forward to help what the hell is going on, so we can try and document these things as best as we can. And people who can summon them, they would have the best shot at this if they can do it. Now, we're going to look at one case tonight. Down the road, there's some other stuff. There's some other videos that I have collected that I know a summoner has done. And this summoner person has some of the best goddamn video I've ever seen, period. It's fascinating video. So if this person didn't summon this, how did they get that video? That will be in a future episode of 4K Skywatching podcast. But we're going to kind of get into the weeds now. There's a lot of things that people have in common with summoning. I don't have in common with these people. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's going on in the news. I also have some other videos aside from summoning that are kind of interesting. We'll look at that. I don't know. We'll get into these videos at the end of the show. I just want to start out saying, hey, Gobstop, thank you so much for that super chat. You know, I appreciate it. God, there's crazy world we're living in. I hope this is a little bit of break tonight, a little bit of a getaway from your normal grind of what the hell is going on in the world. It's kind of crazy, but we're not going to talk about any of that shit. We're going to talk about UFOs tonight. We're going to talk about capturing UFOs, how to get them, which is one of the hardest things we can do. I was observing Spaced Out Radio last night, and I was commenting, Dave, you know, one of the reasons we do people hunt Bigfoot or people hunt UFOs isn't because it's easy. It's because this is goddamn hard. This is hard. This is one of the hardest things we could possibly do. The only thing harder, I think, than filming a UFO is trying to document that you're captured and you're inside the matrix, that you're living in a computer simulation, which could be the same thing as documenting UFOs. We don't know. But we'll get into that. Hey, Truth Seeker, good to see you. I was wondering, I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. Good to see you around. Yeah, there should be sound now. Should be sound. Started off without sound, but I think we're going good now. All right. Hey, Dan Starkey here. Hey, good to see you, Wes. So let's start real quick with who some of these summoners are, right? So let's look at the chart here. So there's a lot of people I could include on this list, but I didn't. So I came up with something I think was interesting and comprehensive. Starting off here, in 1950s, there was George Adamski. Now, he's a contactee, very, you know, his whole story fell apart that he was going to Venus and whatnot, but he at least started the kickoff of what could be real or what could be the foundation of Bullshit Mountain. It could have been laid by George Adamski long before other decks and levels were put in by another person on the list, Dr. Stephen Greer. So we have George Adamski. We have a person that nobody's really heard about named Dorothy Martin. Dorothy Martin wasn't really a contactee or a summoner. She was more of a channeler and kind of had a controversial group back in the 50s. And then we have Sixto Paswell. He's a famous journalist from Peruvian desert that goes out and tries to do meditation. Meditation is a key to all of this. And we have Carlos Dias, photographer from New Mexico. This guy claimed this guy was a contactee. And he took photographs and really weird videos back in the 90s of glowing ships behind his house, over his house, all kinds of videos that were pretty hard to explain. Some of his stuff has simply been written off as a hoax. I don't know if they've ever proven it or if he admitted to it. I do remember Michael Hesseman back in the day investigated this because a lot of ufologists are basically in the United States, are trapped in the United States, no passport, no money. They don't get on planes and they don't go anywhere. They just kind of, in the 90s, 2000s, collected information within their 4 zip codes over, but not very farther than that. So then we have Tsukio. I'm probably going to slaughter his name. Sukaza Media. This is a telepathic person from Japan. And basically the Japanese version of Prophet Yahweh. And he precedes this from the 70s. And then we had Dorothy Izat, famous lady from Canada. She filmed a lot of weird stuff on 8mm film. And she's got one of the ones of aliens looking out the window. Then we have Robert Bingham. Robert Bingham is a person from Los Angeles area. This is another person that says they can summon UFOs on their signal. Now, this person, I looked into this person for a bit. They have one video, and I can't find it because YouTube buried everything. So you type in UFOs, and if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, it will never come up in a YouTube search for UFOs. But Robert Bingham has a sighting that I remember watching on YouTube, and he says, I'm going to summon something, and I'll be goddamn, something showed up, and he filmed it, and I could not explain what the hell he had. Can't find that video right now, but also at the same time, there's other videos with Robert Bingham where he goes to summon stuff, and it's trash, it's grocery bags, and at the same time, I'm summoning that trash. I'm summoning that grocery bag. I'm like, come on, man. These summoners have to at least call a balloon, a bag, man. You got to call balls and strikes on this shit, or people are just going to say you're a fucking lunatic if everything you see you claim is UFO, because 99.9% of them are, right? So, but he does have that's kind of something that seems to happen with these summoners is they get one really good sighting, and then they kind of lose it, and they start thinking they have these magical powers, and everything they see is UFO when it's not the case, and they need a person. This is where you need a really close friend to go, no, dude, nope. That's not a UFO. That's a grocery bag, bro. Come back to Earth. Don't fucking lose it, man. You got a UFO before, but this particular one today is a grocery bag. Everyone needs a friend like that. Make sure you have one. I have a person I'm married, my wife. And you guys are going to see her tonight. You guys have never seen her before. Hope she ain't watching the show. You guys will see her in a little bit. So we got Robert Bingham. And then Prophet Yahweh, one of the OGs of this, was able to call down UFOs on his signal, apparently.
Prophet Yahweh, ufologist.
That's right. And then Prophet Yahweh, ufologist. Another guy, Ken Can. He's out of Las Vegas. Apparently, he worked with Prophet Yahweh. Chris Bledsoe, North Carolina. Everyone knows Chris. He doesn't need an introduction. He's more famous than all these people combined. And then we have Jim Martin. Now, Jim Martin is the guy I was talking about. And I believe it's Jim's video that is just spectacular. I think he filmed that in Long Beach. We'll get into that in a future episode, probably on part 2. Michael Basta is a gentleman, Special Forces, retired. I think he's up in Utah, and he was Jake Skywalker's psionic asset. And then we have Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, the guy who has protocols. Now, how do they claim they do it? Telepathy. Almost every one of them claims some form of telepathy. And meditation is another key to it. Some of them use radios, lasers. Then we got the dog whistle that James Fowler developed. And the dog whistle from if you watch any of the stuff from the UAP summit conference that Reed Summers put on, that stuff's all going to go public one by one. So if you didn't watch the UAP summit, you'll be able to watch them from Reed Summers' channel. Great guy. I would encourage you to find Reed Summers' YouTube channel and subscribe to it. He puts on really good stuff. He does not have tens of thousands of subscribers, and he should. This is a guy who should have 100,000 subscribers. This guy's on fucking point. I'd like to see a lot more researchers go down the avenue that Reed Summers is doing. So anyway, so Reed will have some stuff up with that. So let's kind of get into tonight's show. So I got to know Prophet Yahweh quite a bit back in 1999, up till about 2000. And then around 2000, I kind of voluntarily just quit calling him. Got a weird vibe off him. But he's a very friendly guy. I'll get into that. Let's kind of get into what happened here. So we go up to Las Vegas. And I had a friend up in Las Vegas who is a Skywatcher. I don't know if he's still with us. He shot some really close footage of an orb, and it was about 30 feet away from the camera. He shot this in Hawaii. I have the footage. I've shown people in my house. It's never been put on the internet because I promised him he didn't want to get into shit. I've kind of debated on and off. And this is like 20 minutes worth of footage. Should I upload this footage? Like, it's interesting. It's night vision footage. He talks about me a lot. He has a camera on a tripod. He's in Hawaii. And he's filming these orbs that are at ground level. He's in Oahu. And this orb comes up. It's the size of a baseball. It's about 3 feet off the ground. And it comes up and it just appears on camera. And he's like, Tom, he's scared. And he's pointing at it. He's like, it's right there. He walks into the camera. You could see him and you could see the orb, right? So me and this guy Tom were having, his name is Tom too, we're having conversations back and forth about his sightings in Hawaii. And he was so broke that I was funding him. I was sending him money. I was sending him blank tapes and mailing them to him. And I was sending him money so he could fill the tapes up with UFOs and send them back. And he did that. He was very grateful because he had no money. So he was out skywatching, and I would give him advice. So he was talking about these orbs, and I told him, go capture the fucking thing, right? I'd never heard of Skinwalker Ranch, blue orbs, any of that stuff. So I'm telling him, if you got these orbs, film them, man, film them. So he was doing everything I told him to. And then I was telling him, I think all of us at some point in our life have seen fireflies and went out and put them in mayonnaise jars and brought them home and shit. So I was telling him, take that orb home, go get that mayonnaise jar, try and capture the orb, bottle that lightning up, take it home. Tom wouldn't do that. He was scared. And if you ever get to see this video, maybe I'll upload it sometime, you'll see why. I was like, well, what about a fishing net? Just walk up, hit that fucking thing with the fishing net and wrestle that thing, So anyway, eventually, that's a whole different case. Got a lot of cases, right? So Tom moved from there to Las Vegas. And Tom was telling me about this guy, Prophet Yahweh, who on Sundays had a cable access show where he was broadcasting UFO footage, and he was saying that he can calm down his signal. So I was thinking about this last night. I can't remember if it was Tom who sent me Prophet Yahweh's tapes, but I ended up calling Prophet Yahweh because his number's on the end of all of his videos. A very friendly guy. We talked for hours. And I don't remember if I traded tapes with him or if I just traded them with Tom, but I ended up with a number of Prophet Yahweh's tapes. I've digitized those up to 4K because they're just kind of piss poor. The earthquake footage I'm going to show you has not been upgraded to 4K. So you'll see the grain in that. And then when I show you some of the stuff from Yahweh, you'll see it's been cleaned up. There's a little bit of distortion, but it's a lot better than the original videos. So what happens is we decide to go up to Prophet Yahweh and take him up on his offer. You come down and film these UFOs in front of us, and I have a high camera with what was it, a 5 times telephoto extender, so I have 60 optical power, and we'll see. So we go up there. We stay in a hotel. I think it was the Frontier. This hotel isn't gone anymore. They demoed it. A 7.0 earthquake happens. It's October 16th, and we're partying. We're up at all night. I don't think we slept. I think we did it all-nighter because it's 3 o'clock in the morning in this video, and the 7.0 goes off. Let's check this video out.
The curtains were going like this. I looked at the bed because I felt the.
It's moving, but
it's over now. But
no.
Yeah, it stopped.
It stopped, but that was about a minute-long earthquake. Right?
We're only
moving.
4 stories up.
You guys, if it was an earthquake, the cars
Dude,
couldn't drive. You can't drive.
Building.
You can't drive in an earthquake. Call somebody, tell me.
Yes, in actual fact, we've heard here, we've just got information in that it measured 7.0
Jeez.
which is, it can cause considerable damage.
I was right.
So what have you actually
LA
seen
got
in the
hit,
after effects
or
of this?
that,
And did you indeed
People are
experience those
sleeping, so a
aftershocks
lot
that
of
we
people
heard Paul
probably got
Buchanan
killed.
experience?
Not on Friday night.
Yes, I have. As I said, initially we felt just an extremely strong shaking, and it was unrelenting.
date this shit.
Absolutely, it was a rolling.
Oh yeah, they are sleeping. This ain't 8 o'clock. This is 3 in the morning. We're awake full.
In the course of, it seemed like a minute or longer, it absolutely was relentless. We have felt two.
Please. Get that bag. Here, I'll get that. Do you want to get those tripods?
What? What?
The trunk? Two
The
of them?
tripod?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hunting these things down for quite a while and kind of slowly hooking up with the other hardcore guys that spend serious amount of time doing this. Oh, yeah? Feels good.
So that was us going over to Prophet Yahweh's house, and he lived just off the strip in the ghetto. And when we pulled up there, there were people looking at us like, because it was an all black neighborhood, and they were looking at us like, these motherfuckers are crazy. And I never really had, I've been to Compton, I've been all over the place, and I've never been to an area where I was frightened, no matter how bad it was or whatever. I just thought, you know what? As long as you're cool, everything's going to work out. And it did. So we went in the back of his yard, and he set up and he did his summoning. And basically the thing with all of these guys, I think almost all of them are religious. That's one key that seems to be woven through all these summoners, is most of them have different various religions. Some of them Muslim, some are Christian, some are Hebrew, whatever. But they're religious. So maybe that's why I can't do it, because I just don't have the power of faith. If I can't see it and assemble it and fuck with it, I don't believe in it. But at the same time, I'm a hypocrite because I believe in reincarnation. So how the fuck, I don't know how to square that, but that's how I roll. So let's check with the chat before we roll in. Go see you, Marcus. I think you're over to Sweden there. Probably Saturday. How you doing, Wes? So who's your birthday? So yeah, if somebody says they're going to summon them, I'm showing up with all my shit. Bring that motherfucker down, because Prophet Yahweh was doing this on Sundays from like noon to 1. So, reviewing his videos, he actually was running sort of a YouTube channel before YouTube was invented back in 99 and 2000. He was doing cable TV. He was going in and using some of their editing machines, because most major cities back in the day had a public access. And if you go through one of their volunteer classes or whatever, you can do video editing. And then you do another one, you can do their cameras. And then you do another one, you could check out some of their equipment and go around and film. I know, because I was doing this type of stuff in Sacramento. So anyway, Prophet Yahweh was doing this type of thing. He was trying to bring a hell of a lot of awareness. This guy was way, way, way ahead of his time. But was he successful? We're going to look at tonight what I think is a few of his more decent videos, because most of the shit he got was debris from Las Vegas. Las Vegas is an extremely filthy, dirty city, and not because of the prostitutes. It's because of the trash. They have dust devils like Phoenix that spin around. They're little tornadoes, and they suck up shit from an empty parking lot. They take all that trash and they put it up in the sky. It blows up grocery bags, and then you have all these white things kind of spinning around. So there's a lot of sky trash there, and Prophet Yahweh just didn't have that good of a filter. So let's look at how he kind of starts this.
I filmed this blinking capsule.
All right, so he kind of just does meditation to start out. He does a prayer. And then kind of just a football touchdown. let him know where he's at. And then he brings his witnesses. And then he telepathically links with who he was calling Yahweh. And he believes that he was a prophet of Yahweh. So his real name was Ramon Watkins. And I believe he died in the early 2000s. I read some stuff online about how he got involved in fraud or scams. I think the debunkers went after him. I don't know anything about that stuff. I had no idea. And that I read some of that back when I was kind of on vacation from ufology. So I don't know. I had no sense that that man did anything like that, because I just talked to him about UFOs and skywatching, right? So I don't know what his life was like on the side, aside from ufology and stuff. Now, he did have some self-awareness that when we were over at his house, myself, Rhonda, and Jeff Willis, we told him most of the stuff that we filmed with grocery bags, shredded plastic. And the last one that he said we're going to see was Venus. He accepted that. He did not argue with us and say no, that, you know, it's a little embarrassing when you're saying, and Tom, I'm having telepathic communication.
Oh, yes.
With that bag.
Spaceships as well as UFOs appear on my signal.
So when he says that they appear on his signal, and I go, no, brother, that's a fucking bread bag, right? And then he goes, okay, then how are you telepathically involved with that bread bag? The same type of thing happens with Robert Bingham, where he talks about how he's telepathically connected with this grocery bag or what have you. But no, but anyway, Yahweh was to the point where he's like, Tom, maybe I'm mentally ill. Maybe I'm sick. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And there were some times on the phone, he was trying to balance the life between, at some point he grew up a regular person. And at some point he assumed this Prophet Yahweh alter ego, but there was still Raymond there. And Raymond was kind of like the sanity person of him, calling him back. Well, maybe you're not Prophet Yahweh. So I don't know what the hell happened with him. He left us way too early. But yeah, right here in the video, he's looking at, I believe, a grocery bag. Yeah, and that was his phone number, his address, and everything. So let's get into some of his better videos. And one of the best videos that he has is of this boomerang craft. There was actually, he says there were 4 of them. Now, he filmed this boomerang type craft in the daytime in Los Angeles.
V-shaped UFOs. The deep part about it is that they came from all directions and centered over this one building. You see them in the screen, that they're far away, but as you continue to watch, they're going to become clearer and clearer in view. Look at that. They're going to come clearer and clearer in view, closer. When you see them closer, as you continue to view this tape, and you'll see that they're right above us. Right now, they're coming toward us from all 4 directions. It's about 4 of these strange V-shaped UFOs. Now, the likelihood of that being a balloon or whatever is not likely at all. This thing, look at there. People in the buildings came out to see this phenomenon. Wow, man. We were all shook up when we saw this. Imagine something catching your eye, and then you look at a center spot and there's a strange object. Then you notice that from the north, south, east, and west, other objects of similar shapes are converging in on a central spot in the sky above a building. Now, also look at that. Also consider this, that as strangely as they came into view, they left in like manner. in all four directions, leaving from a central spot. Wow, man. That's a sighting of a lifetime right there. I mean, what we're witnessing now. People saw us, they came out of their buildings, they pulled over. People in traffic were pulling over, had their cameras, their binoculars, and looking as we were looking. And after they left, we all were standing around our cars talking about what we seen. Young girls, mothers, there were other men there. And initially, the police were there. It's about 4 or 5 of them. They looked and saw, look at that. They saw that. They saw it all of them coming and converging in one spot and saw everybody looking up. And they said, we don't want to be a part of a conspiracy. And they jumped in their police car and took off. But they can laugh all they want, but they were deeply struck by that. And they weren't joking. They were trying to get away so they wouldn't be held responsible for having to report something like that. They were shook up. Look at this. Now, a lot of people sit up to say that what we're witnessing are balloons unleashed in the atmosphere because they have a balloonish shape to them. One bystander said that they thought it was a balloon, a large balloon, the type that you see at carnivals, and that there were 2 of these balloons tied together. That's the reason you got the V shape. But I knew that was an impossibility. These alien beings, many times they will appear to people in the sky with a similarity,
Now, Prophet Yahweh said that he said that the Greys weren't real, the reptilians and the mantises weren't real. He said that these are superhuman alien beings that look just like us. You know what's kind of cool is if they look just like us, it's cool if there's some black aliens out there, because when you get in ufology, they talk about the whites and all this stuff. You watch sci-fi, there's no representation for a lot of other people there. I don't even, most stuff that you watch don't have Hispanics in the future. There's no Hispanics in space or black people in space. So it's good if there's something out there for black people, because like I remember when we were doing a Skywatch, and we're sitting there with George Knapp. My friend Clive was there, and George Knapp straight up asked him, Clive, why aren't there black people more? He said, Clive, I've done this for 3 or 4 decades. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people at UFO conferences, but only 4 black people. Why? And then Clive's like, well, shit, man. Now I have to answer for black culture. Shit. But that's just the way it is. So if Prophet Yahweh 26 fucking years ago was doing this, and he says there's superhuman alien beings that look like us, well, cool. Let's keep going here.
Appearance of things that we made that will throw us off from recognizing it for what it is. UFO. A lot of the UFOs, they have balloonish characteristics, or bad characteristics in the air. But when you look at them, like you look at that. Hold on. Look at that on the screen.
I stabilize that. We'll be looking at this blowing up in the stabilization.
Just hold on. They're almost over us right now, and you're going to get a good view. Okay, now look at that one. Okay, that one is going to go on further past the tree, and another one is going to be coming toward the tree as it heads out. Oh, well, I don't know. Anyway, which one that is? No, that's the first one I was talking about. Now, it's going to go behind the tree, and another one's going to come. Just take a look at these things. First of all, the argument that there are two large carnival type balloons tied together, thus forming at one end, thus forming a V shape, is not likely. Is when you take a close look at the spot where they're joined together. You will see that these are not two independent objects that are tied together, but rather what you will see is a joint, a solid joint. This proves that these objects are joined together or built together like that. At the end of this footage, you will see 4 of these craft magnified. Okay? They'll be magnified and we'll be able to take a better look. Also, I want you to pay a close look at that one. Okay, now coming up is a circular orb that was following all 4 of those V-shaped UFOs. It should be coming up anytime now. I think I was going up right about now to try to catch it before I ended the filming because they were getting away. Let me see. A circular orb following 4 V-shaped, or was it 3 V-shaped, 3 or 4 V-shaped UFO. There it is. The circular orb. Okay, now let's look at the first still shot. Notice the joint where the 2 dot. Notice the joint where the 2 wings.
Yeah, notice that joint. Now, one of the things that's really interesting to me is we got a match, a pretty good match. For whatever the hell this is. Let me see if this plays in here, right? No. All right, now this video here was shot by Mike Fortson in Chandler, Arizona. And it shows one of these V-shaped craft that was flying over his head. He thought it was about 30 or 40,000 feet. So he recorded this boomerang-shaped craft. These boomerangs are extremely rare in the daytime. But this is a pretty goddamn good match to whatever it was that Prophet Yahweh had shot with 4 boomerangs. And the object that Mike has moving in this video is cruising over it. So it went away fast. It wasn't a balloon just kind of sitting there and floating. So I don't know what Prophet Yahweh got. Let's look at a little bit of enhancement of that boomerang. So what I did was I took his video, enhanced it into 4K, stabilized the best section of it, and then zoomed in. Now we were talking. What do you guys think? Do you think that he got a boomerang, or do you think he got a balloon chain? And what I mean is, you will see sometimes like car parking lots where they're selling cars, and you'll see them tie groups of balloons and they'll put them in an arch. And maybe it's one of those, but 4 or 5 balloons. So each one would have maybe 100, 200 white balloons in it. But then what tied the bottom together so they film the curve? Let's look at the crop.
Is when you take a close look at the spot where they're joined together.
Video cleaned up.
You will see that these are not two independent objects
zoom in here.
that are tied together.
And yeah,
is when you take
there's
a
joint.
close look at
There's
the
a joint
spot
here.
where they're joined together.
Yes, there's the joint.
You will see these are not two independent objects
And where they go together.
that are
This dude is
tied
hilarious.
together.
I wish he was around.
Is
I
when
would
you
have
take a
him on
close
here
look
narrating this
at
damn
the
thing.
spot where
Now
they're
see-
joined together. You will see that these are
where
not
there's-
two
there-
independent
it kind of-
objects that are
You
tied.
can clearly see that it almost has like, what's the word for it? It's like a U shape, but then it kind of, the bottom kind of levels off like that, almost like they're tied together, at least in that clip. And then the other ones are like that too. I don't know. I've never seen a goddamn boomerang in the daytime and filmed it. So I don't have any experience there, but I can just show you that's one of the more interesting videos. But yeah, he's hilarious to listen to. He's got a real soothing type voice. He reminds me of Billy Ocean, the singer. That was one of his ones. Let's look at a black object that he had. And this one is actually, I believe, in the original resolution of 640 by 480.
This probe, and once again, I managed to get it in focus, in view.
So there's going to be a white object, and then there's a black object.
Okay, let's get ready to take a look at this
black
probe
object
when
with
the
his
plane
mind
flew
to
by.
stop.
Right about now.
And kind of in the video,
look at it.
Kind of
look at
stop.
it. The length of the probe is about as long as the engine. On this day, I was driving down Western in Los Angeles, and look what I saw. A capsule, a dark capsule following me. I was with Brother Orion and Sean. We pulled over, almost had a wreck. Got our camera, hopped out, and were determined to catch this capsule on film. And guess what? We got it. Look at it. Depending on the quality of your television and the size of your screen, you can see lights blinking out of the top of this capsule. Okay, I'm going back down to a reference point. We're at, what is this? 3rd and Western, near downtown Los Angeles. I mean, like, whenever I have formal meetings and gather people together and make my summons, the spaceships and the UFO probes or orbs show up. But at the same time, I can be traveling and they'll be following me, performing exploits and allowing me to film them at unaware. Okay, I'm trying to get in position now behind Brother Orion. There he is. That's my friend, a fellow ufologist out of Los Angeles. I'm getting ready to go back up and zoom into this capsule. And strangely, if you watch it closely, you will see it stop. I asked it to stop. You'll be able to tell it stopped when you look at it, its relationship with the wire.
Okay, it's moving to the left.
All right, in a little while, hold on, you'll notice it stopped. A lot of times when people are with me and I make my summons or the sightings appear at unaware, I can ask the object or the ship to stop.
That's kind of an egg shape.
And it will stop.
Object.
I will ask it, go to the right. It will go to the right. I'll say, go to the left. It'll go to the left. Not in all cases, but in the vast majority, there seems to be a voice control of the direction of the ship or the object. Okay, now watch it, because you're gonna see it stop. You'll be able to tell by judging its relationship with the wire. I asked for it to stop. Orion and Sean heard it, and they were very surprised when they saw it
looks
stop.
like it
I think
stopped
this was the first time that they saw the
A
ship.
little bit difficult to tell with wires, though, unless there's something solid in the wire.
Stop or maneuver on my signal.
Yeah, it looks like it stopped.
But they've seen it several times since.
Be cool if it shot up, though.
And you can see this. All you have to do, if you think
All right, there's
that
a reference over on
it's
the left.
something that you really would like to see, if you would
That's the
really
guy
like to
still
see
moving to the
spaceships
left.
and UFO probes and orbs and capsules appear, contact me. Tell me you'd like to come and be a part of my summonings. And you'll be welcome to come and meet with me in a park.
That's, whether he was able to actually summon these objects or not, he has a good helping of a lot of what we're missing in ufology. It's just being nice and polite to each other. Everybody's kind of at each other's throats all the time. And if, he was just welcome with open arms, come on in. I don't care who you are, where you are, I will summon them. And sometimes he falls flat on his face. Now, there's a clip. I was going to get it ready, but I never queued it up, where he asked the local Las Vegas news when he lived in Las Vegas to come over and summon them, and the shit shows up, and they're like, I'll be goddamn. Now, I don't know if he got a grocery bag, or I don't know what he got in that one. Another time, he tried to get a hold of legendary George Knapp and have George Knapp come out. George Knapp talked about this 2 or 3 times, and I just don't think they ever had the timing. It kind of sucks. It would have been great. I mean, fuck, man, he was doing this right in George Knapp's backyard, and he's getting motherships and stuff that'll land and flatten the place. Very, very interesting. Now, one of the other interesting ones, and remember, you can fail upwards if you're a summoner. You can fuck up 100 times, but that 101 time, if something shows up, then you can go, well, look, what's that? What's that? I got something. Because we only need one really good UFO, and then you've kind of gotten, your proof. You don't have to prove it over and over and over and over. I filmed so much stuff that if I don't ever film another one again, I'm good. I've filmed my share, your share, and his share. So he has a bunch of orbs, too, in this one. So let's look at this one. What do you guys think? So far, we had a interesting black object. Kind of stopped. Could be a balloon, though. Egg-shaped one there. Then we had at least 2 of these boomerangs, which, if they're just car balloons and stuff like that, why don't we see more of those? That's rare. And then in this one, we have a bunch of orbs.
Oh, yes. Just look at all of these UFOs. Now, what I'm preparing to do on my show is come out at 12 o'clock every day over Los Angeles, every clear day, and summon these UFOs. From what I'm hearing, you all are preparing to hear about what's preparing to happen in the news. I'm going to alert the media to expect caravans of UFOs, flotillas of UFOs, armada of UFOs appearing on my signal. I've been instructed to do so. So watch out, Las Vegas. Here it comes. Yes. This is even before I call people together. I believe that they're preparing to upset the city of Las Vegas. It may take a little time before the news media takes this thing seriously. But I am preparing to go forward. I'm preparing to air sightings as they appear on my summonings every clear day that I find in Los Angeles, regardless if it's a Monday or Sunday or not, Saturday or not, whenever. And what you all are preparing to witness is a lot of news broadcasts being done on how these UFOs are appearing over Las Vegas. People are going to be taking pictures of them. People are going to be filming them. But little will they know that they're happening because of me. That they're appearing under my direction, on my will, on my call, as often as I will. only because these alien beings have chosen me to do so. Don't lose sight of the fact that they are the ones that are getting the attention. Forget about me. I'm just doing what they tell me. But mark my word, they're preparing to be UFO sightings over Las Vegas that are going to let everybody in this city that's aware know that something out of this world, not of this world, is taking place. So as you see all of this on the local news, don't forget to tune in to my show, Prophet Yahweh Ufologist, 12 noon to 12:30 every Sunday, and lend a helping hand. Call me and offer some type of financial support to keep this show on the air. Watch out, Las Vegas. Here they come.
God damn, I love that motherfucker. Prophet Yahweh. When you called him, he'd answer the phone. Prophet Yahweh, ufologist. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like a skit off of SNL if the ladies' man decided to become a ufologist, he'd become Prophet Yahweh or something like that. So yeah, we could use a lot more of that. That was interesting. That was off one of his tapes. A lot of his tapes are repetitive, where he would keep cycling the same footage around. That happens. People do that all the time. What do you guys think? That's a few of them. Some of you guys think, yeah, maybe the black one stopped. It kind of looked like it paused at least a little bit, and then it kept going. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that he filmed were grocery bags. And then the one thing that he tried on us is he said this next one is going to be around for an hour. And it was there for an hour because he got fucked by Venus. It was Venus, right? So watch out for those people who say, well, this one is going to be here for an hour, because if they're a fraud and they know Venus is going to set, they can always point over towards the sunset if they got real good vision and go, there's one. Look, it's hovering. And if you don't know any better, you're going to go, yeah, man, that thing's just sitting there. Thanks. But not me and Jeff Willis. We knew better than this. By the time we were at his house, 99, me and Jeff Willis each had at least 4 years of pretty intense sky watching here in the Phoenix heat. So we had broken out of becoming just fucking green and not knowing what we're doing, to the point where we are now Prophet Yahweh's peers telling him what he's filming. So we're at this point medium to decent, pretty good sky watchers at this point. But to get to that point, you're going to be, I'd call it fucked by Venus. You're going to get fucked over by Venus at some point. At some point in looking at stuff, you're going to say, hey, look, that thing's not moving, and you don't know any better, and it's going to be Venus. Every sky watcher goes through this, and later you become more advanced, you get fucked by Jupiter, right? You just move up the planetary scale, because you can see Jupiter in the daytime too if you have really, really good eyes, and depending on where it's at. So you have to get some experience of the planets, man, because there's nothing really up there that you're going to see. All the satellites that you're going to see from up there are man-made from Mir space station or planets. That's about the only thing you will see in the daytime. You cannot see satellites at all in the daytime. So you roll that out. So you can watch out with that. I don't know if Prophet Yahweh just called out Venus to try and convince us, or if he was just got fucked by Venus and that was his first time. Okay, so I was talking about this early. Let's do a rejoiner from the beginning of the episode. I kind of pushed back from him in 2000 because after a while, it was very interesting. Now, he was religious from the Old Testament with Hebrew and whatnot, but I think he was Muslim. I don't know how the fuck you can become a Muslim and Jewish or something at the same time, but this motherfucker was peanut butter and chocolate and peanut butter, man. He was the ladies' man and a skywatcher type dude. So shit, he was mixing it up. I got this cult vibe from him, like, ooh, because after heaven, this was 2 years after Heaven's Gate and Marshall Applewhite, and I started going, if he can convince a bunch of people and show them Venus, and they don't know any better, and use that as the fallback. Look, there's Venus, or there's a bag, or whatever. He can get a following, and I just didn't want a part of it. We heard some stuff on the phone. There were other people on the phone call listening to us. So I'm like, if after Heaven's Gate, I had no doubt that the FBI was listening to his phone calls, and they were looking at, is this guy radicalizing people? Is there something weird going on here? And mind you, this was before 9/11. So I just kind of got this vibe like, this kind of isn't for me. You know, I think because he got fucked by Venus, and most of the shit he filmed were grocery bags. So I wasn't like a true believer of this. I'm like, he's just doing his own thing. Let him do his own thing. So I just kind of got this weird vibe. I don't want to become best friends. Even though he sounds polite as hell on these videos, I don't want to get sucked into whatever it is he's doing. So I kind of backed off. So that's kind of where I left him. Completely OG. You go back and you watch his stuff, and he does have a YouTube channel. It's frozen in time. So he does have a few videos on his YouTube channel. I need to find it. I'll link it. I'll put it up in the description. But yeah, he got involved into some weird stuff. I just don't know with these guys. You know, all these guys, all these summoners, right? It only takes one. You know, if Prophet Yahweh falls on his face, if Stephen Greer falls on his face, maybe Mike Basta comes up with something. Maybe he gets them to land, right? So if one of these guys has a really, really good piece of footage, and one of them does, then I think it's worth listening, right? So let's look at this as, instead of, let's say, what do we got here? The 17 summoners. What if this was the 17 disciples, right? And we're looking back 3,000 years ago, and we don't have any technology, and we're just pointing in the sky and saying, look, this stuff's flying. This guy knows when this stuff comes in, this person's connected to God. So if we had people that could summon UFOs 3,000 years ago, we would listen to every goddamn thing that they have to say, and we would start writing shit down on caves or whatever, that these people have magical powers. So that's what's interesting about Prophet Yahweh. I don't know. I can't answer you if you could summon or not, but I can tell you he was a nice dude. And his technique was similar to everything else that we hear about if you want to get a UFO to show up. And you know what? Almost all these people that summon them do this in the daytime. When you look at Skywatch, right? Skywatch, the Jake Barber group, they do all their stuff in the daytime. All their contacts, all their radar hits. When they said the dog whistle works 100% of the time, they're talking about 100% in the daytime. When I Skywatch and I go out with the group, a lot of the times the group wants to do a night Skywatch because it's easy to see shit at night because you're looking at a light. I prefer the daytime. It's harder. You're going to be hunting these white phosphorus things, black objects, whatever. But most everybody does this in the daytime. Now, when it comes to, I got a theory when it comes to who's funding this stuff, and it's not going to be too big of a secret. Let's look at this. So, who's funding these people? Well, from the looks of it, it looks like it's a Peter Thiel operation. So you got Peter Thiel is basically the financial capitalist. He's the one who makes this happen. So keep in mind, right now, I'm willing to bet that the Skywatcher group is at the range, which is apparently in West Texas, which is like around west of El Paso, right where the airspace was closed a couple weeks ago. See what I'm saying here? So the Skywatcher group is out skywatching, doing their thing again. They've been doing this since 2001, 2002, over and over and over, collecting this information. Who's paying for this? Well, we recently heard in the news that Bob Bigelow apparently was sending some bucks to the president trying to get a soft disclosure. So somebody is funding the Skywatcher group. Somebody is paying for that fucking radar. And that's very expensive. Somebody's paying for 2 to 3 helicopter pilots. Very expensive. For the kerosene fuel or whatever that goes in these helicopters. So these helicopters that sit around waiting to go up in the air are not making any money, because a helicopter is literally a cash machine. If you own a helicopter, you can start a charter service with a pilot and start making $900 an hour off this. So if it's sitting on the ground, not flying, that's $900 an hour for 3 of them they're not making. Who has that type of money? The fucking Antichrist, Peter Thiel, has that type of money. So we go from Peter Thiel, we go to Jesse Michaels. He's their network bridge. He's the guy who is the main hub of their public side of their intelligence operations system. If you look at Jesse Michaels' channel, he funds people. He typically throws around the word $50,000, right? So recently he did a podcast. We had Eric Davis and Eric Weinstein sit down. Now these guys, the two Erics, I don't think they do this unless they get paid. So they apparently got paid, and there was a podcast on that. Now, also Jesse Michael apparently stiffs people, like most people do that are rich. They just don't pay you, and they say your payment was hanging out with me. So anyway, so Jesse Michaels is kind of the public side of this intelligence operation. And then behind that, I believe, is James Fowler. James Fowler was basically the financing social architect of the Skywatch group. He knows the people, he has the connections, he has the money. So he funded Jake Barber. And then he goes to Enigma Labs, which is also has very strange funding. No one knows who the hell is funding that. And I believe they're using a bunch of shell companies that are under, this is my theory, under Peter Thiel has all these shell companies, and he's doing a UFO collection intelligence operation. So he's funding Enigma Labs, hoping that people send their reports in there instead of, say, MUFON or National UFO Reporting Center or UFO Battler. And then you have the people that do shit like me. That's where you got Jake Barber, Mike Basta, Skywatcher, Gary Nolan. These people, if they're going to go out to the range, they're going to get, a stipend to make sure that their bills back home are taken care of. So who has that type of money to throw around? Apparently it's Bigelow or it's Thiel. But why would it be Thiel over Bigelow? Before I got into ufology, I was into sociology and psychology. So I kind of mixed that together in here. Think about it. When Jake Barber first went public, he blew up. Somehow he had access right to Ross Coulthart. He had access to News Nation. He had access right to Jesse Michaels off the get-go. So if you go from Jake Barber goes straight to Jesse Michaels, and everyone knows Jesse Michaels is connected to Peter Thiel, then you have James Fowler was probably the one who hooked Jake Barber up with Peter Thiel, who's connected to Jesse Michaels and Peter Thiel. Now, where the hell does Enigma Labs come in here? Because when you listen to the Reed Sumner or watch the Reed Sumner interview with James Fowler from the UAP Summit, James Fowler says, for a collection, maybe we could use Enigma Labs. Why did he say Enigma Labs? Why didn't he say the National UFO Reporting Center? Probably because when you're working for a company and you keep that money in the company, then you're going to have the company product stay in. So if Peter's funding Jesse's interviewing, let's say, James Fowler saying we want to use Enigma Labs. Why? Because they're probably all funded from the same group. Another way that you can tell who these people are working for is simply by just bringing it up. Will they talk shit about, like, for example, if you were to bring up Jake Barber and talk to them, or James Fowler, and you were to bring up Bob Bigelow or Peter Thiel, see who they revere. Do they talk shit about any of them? Because they're not going to talk shit about the guy who's right in the front of their check, right? If Peter Thiel is funding this operation, they're going to have glowing things to say about it. If he's not, then they might say, yeah, that dude's the Antichrist, because no one likes fucking Peter Thiel. That's a baseline right there. I mean, nobody. The only one who says anything good about him are people he's paying. Everyone else don't like that dude. He's creepy. He looks weird. There's something off with him. So that's kind of my analysis of what's going on, that there's a billionaire intelligence operation running aside ufology. So we have kind of the UFO cover-up works with the government inside of a government. Well, we have this Skywatcher ufology Enigma Labs inside of ufology. No one really talks about any of that shit, but that's going on. That should be more on people's, I think, talking about this over some of the other shit that we hear at Bullshit Mountain. Let's look at some different videos that have came up. This video was sent in to me by one of the viewers. Thank you for sending this video in. This video was shot in Ohio. It's of a flying humanoid. So the person sent this video in. Unfortunately, the resolution was kind of bad. It was shot, I guess, on an iPhone on low resolution. I'm not sure how that works. But when I looked at the resolution here, we're looking at, I think, was 840 by 640 or 940 by 640, a very odd number. So let's look at this flying humanoid video. Tried to get any details I could out of it. It fits right in with the rest of them. Black object, same speed, same altitude, same everything, except this one is Y-shaped. So he's filming. I cut the sound here because the sound is just some music playing and YouTube's going to copyright strike it. So he's filming this with his wife or his better half. And I think she's telling him it's like a balloon or something. And he's like, no, I don't know. And let's see. So he actually does a really good, whoever filmed it did a good job. So bravo on the filming. They kind of filmed it until the object left. So the best view that we had of this, looks like it was from Perrysville, Ohio. So object's flying away. Clouds look like they're about at 8,000 to 10,000 feet. This object's up at about maybe 1,000 or two. It's human shaped and it's tilting forward. Now let's take a look at this. Enhanced. So I took his video and I sent him this video back, I think within about a day. So if you guys have videos, send them in. If you want me to use my horsepower of computational computing and software on them. So stabilized it, took out the camera shake, and then zoomed in on it. But since it was filmed in like 840 by 640 or something, we don't get crisp 4K on it. But what's interesting is this one, we'll see here when it does the crop. It's kind of Y-shaped. So yeah, there's the video kind of cropped. So look, you can see it's Y-shaped, which is kind of weird. Maybe they're just balloons, but this did not exist. This was not really a thing. Actually, one of the first people to film this is that dude from the Goofon channel, Richard. Richard filmed one of these in Phoenix. And out of all the flying humanoid videos, 80% of them, for some reason, come from Arizona. I don't know why. We even have that witch video. You know that? Remember that Border Patrol video? It shows that fucking witch that's going like 30 miles an hour and like hot black by the cactuses. Weird shit. Now here's a match. I got a match to this from Mexico of another weird flying Y. What the fuck? Doesn't it look, that's what Chris Donald saying. Doesn't it look like the same thing, except we got some resolution? What is this? What in the hell are we looking at? That's weird as hell, man.
V-shaped UFO. The deep part of
Wrong camera. Let me flip over here. I don't know what that was. I don't know, weird Y-shaped thing. Eventually, someone's going to crack it. Someone eventually is going to get a zoom where they can just pinch or something, or zoom in with their phone, something, and zoom in and go, okay, black object leaning forward, same speed, looks like flying humanoid. We zoom in. What the fuck are these things? I know it's not going to be an answer like it's just some astronaut balloon that you can buy at the grocery store. It's got to be simpler than that. But ufology's like that. We had a great episode last week. Last week was the 29th anniversary of the Phoenix Lights. And we had Dave Parker on. He's excellent witness. He got to see the UFO about as close as he possibly could as far as the Phoenix Lights. And he described it kind of like flint, kind of like a 1 mile long piece of flint that's round with lava under it. It makes a lot. Some of these UFOs don't make any sense to us. They don't make any sense. Like they're not like a vehicle, a car, a piece of equipment. It's plasma, but it's smart. It's almost like an animal. Some of these UFOs seem like they're alive. Some of the ships seem like they're alive. Some of the ships morph. The whole thing is just fascinating. It's one of the hardest things that we're ever going to conquer. So after that, now you might have seen this. This was okay. So we got this situation going on overseas. Not getting into that, but we had this weird drone sighting, and this is from New Jersey. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see if you guys have seen this or not.
If you think you've seen a UFO in the skies over New Jersey, you're not alone. Numerous sightings have already been reported in 2026, according to an article in ESPN South Jersey, of all things. New Jersey is not known, or wasn't known, as a hotspot for UFOs, and yet one of America's top UFO sighting reporting websites has a good deal of eyewitnesses from late 2025 into 2026. The website is called the National UFO Reporting Center, and some of the reports in the skies over New Jersey might make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Of course, all of this happened before in 2024, and the government told us that it was all legitimate drone tests being carried out by the FAA or private drone operators or something along those lines, although really when it comes right down to it, we never got a comprehensive and convincing explanation from the government regarding this mysterious outbreak.
That's pretty weird footage. That's one of the best ones I've seen where, okay, that's odd. Doesn't look like a helicopter. I don't know what that is. But that's not an airplane for once. For fucking most of these videos that you watch are people who they can't discern an airplane from a drone. And then we watched mass hysteria happen over a year ago in New Jersey where all these people were wound up saying, oh, look, that's a drone. It's like, no, that's an aircraft. God damn it, use Flight 24. Fucking level up your brain a little bit. Watch The Matrix. Fucking insert knowledge. We have, with our phones, anything at your fingertips. There's no fucking reason to mistake this stuff. So from there, let's look at these black orbs that this woman's. Now, this one reminds me of the Spear Network. Patrick Jackson stuff.
Here, guys, just wait. Oof. I am not sure what the heck I'm looking at. Just wait. Okay, just wait. They're coming into view. Just wait, guys. Right? Can you see them? Right above the peak of the point of that house is one. And then there's one to the right of it and one to the left of it. Flying. My phone won't zoom any further. Here, just wait, guys. Oh, let me see. So there's one to the right. Okay, oops, wait, Sam. There's two to the left are much closer together. There they are, right above the peak. And then there's another one to the right. I thought they were coming this way, but they're not. They're just floating up there. I don't even know what they are.
They don't look like grocery bags. I don't. They don't. They also don't look like the flying humanoid, whatever the fuck that thing is. Not sure on these. They could just be some balloons, and they're in a dead wind. I mean, that's why I always start. I always start with the mundane. Is there anything weird about this at all? But at least they filmed it. We got a woman filmed it. Did a pretty good job of filming it. I don't know how they left. Now, this next piece of footage, this one actually is very strange because the way the ratio is cut, like 2-3. It's like 2-3-5 to 1 letterboxing on this. Next one is a black object with a white center. It's a couple of minutes long. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I can get the source of this video, because if this video is actually legit, this is a pretty goddamn good video. I also have matches to this on my dead UFOvideo.com. It's flying over the guy's head, it looks like. And there's a white, I guess I would say light in it, because you can't see through it, right? So when it goes over something blue, the white circle doesn't turn blue. This is a match for these other black objects. Now, the one thing that you can compare this to is simply the circle balloon in a grocery store, right? The letter O or 0. But you can see there's almost like a white light in the center of it. So interesting video. I hope we can get to the source of whatever this is. It might be a really good, legit video. What do you guys think on this one? One thing, remember the Tic Tac video when that dropped, and that came out on a website above top secret, 95% of that website said it was fake. And then it turned out, nope, that was a real UFO. You guys just don't know what you're looking at because you've never seen one. You don't have a verified object to compare it to. And now we do. We know the Tic Tac video that Chad Underwood recorded from the Super Hornet is a legitimate UFO that we can use to compare against other UFOs. That's one of the problems with the government cover-up of this, is there's so many of these videos that are unknown, that are sitting in our archives that we paid for. We don't know exactly how to source what are real videos versus unknowns. If we had a whole bunch of government videos that show different shapes, different things like this, then we could kind of start separating public videos too, and saying, well, because there's thousands of videos of public shot, and we could say, well, this one matches something that, say, a Reaper drone shot, so that's legit. We don't know on that one. That's interesting. News Nation. Well, you know, one thing about News Nation is since they hired Ross is under pressure to keep coming up with these big fucking stories, right? That I know this and I can't tell you, but, and then he hypes the shit out of stuff. You know, I want Ross to go back and explain that goddamn egg video. Remember that egg video, the one that we can't tell was night vision or not, that they dropped? Where did that come from? That's your story, bro. Go find out where you got that video and go find that pilot in an interview. If it's real or not. That's what I want to know. All right. Now this next one. Okay. I don't know. This is kind of, a lot of these videos are kind of weird because they're filmed up and they're not in like, where the fuck is the 4K resolution in these iPhones? Are they filming these on iPhone 5s? iPhone 6s, old iPhones. Okay, this next one we've heard about videos of UFOs and jets, and the jet comes right up alongside the UFO, and they're saying, hey, Lou Elizondo talked about it, that you could see it clearly. Is this next video that, or is this fake? So this next video here is either this shit or it's straight up fake. So here's a jet that apparently flies up to a sports model type UFO.
It looks like something, there's some kind of object that's suspended in the air. It's hard to tell. It's pretty small. I cannot see it outside of my eyes. In the targeting pod, you can see something. I can't tell if it's metallic or what. And there's, I can see like lines coming down below, but I can't see anything below it.
Looks like a hockey puck with that black thing on there. I'm going to play this one again. I don't know. I mean, this is what I guess it would look like because if to fly up alongside of that thing can't be hovering, right? Because you'd fly right by it. So that thing's got, if it's real, it's got to be moving with the jet, and the jet caught up to its speed. So I guess it would look something like this. So if we ever get to see what's in that immaculate constellation document, all these videos that are sitting around on a top secret server, it would look like this. This is what it would kind of look like, but hopefully in better resolution instead of potato.
It looks like something, there's some kind of object that's suspended in the air. It's hard to tell. It's pretty small. I cannot see it outside of my eyes. In the targeting pod, you can see something. I can't tell if it's metallic or what. And there's, I can see like lines coming down below, but I can't see anything below it.
Yeah, I don't know on that, but I thought it's interesting because what if it's real and we just kind of like, okay, just forget about it. Bring this up. You guys know of the Bugosphere, right? And you know of the inaccurate carvings on it that look like I did it. Like, you know, just look like a human did it, not like a machine. I was watching some stuff. I'm going to see if any of you guys have seen this stuff. I was watching, I don't know what the hell it was. It was on something on social media. So it was probably Twitter or it was YouTube. There were these people and they were digging these objects out of the ground and they were plates. and they dig these objects out of the ground, and it's showing them like they're excavating something. They take this object out of the ground, they start shaking it. There's dirt on the other side. They start brushing it off, and it's a pretty much, I could say, an exact match of whatever's on that bugosphere. That chip type of thing was on these like plates or whatever. I think there were 2 or 3 of these that they found in an excavation. So think like the mummies. Think of the Nazca mummies, where they basically, this stuff was just sitting in the ground for a hell of a long time until somebody came and got it. I'm wishing I saved those goddamn videos. I'd like to be able to play these back. Now, there's so many times I see stuff and I kind of go, I don't know. At this point, I just kind of have a built-in a good habit. If you see something questionable, save the shit. Either save it directly from a download, get some stuff that can download YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, from National UFO Reporting Center, from Enigma Labs, wherever. When you come across something really good, save it, because you may not ever come across that again. It could just get lost in the ether. So if you've seen any of those videos of what I'm talking about, where people are excavating plates out of the ground that got a match to the bugosphere, let me know. I'm kind of looking for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. 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 So what do you guys think? Yeah, GoFund's kind of a weird channel. You guys, he's still at it. Hit Jeff Willis on there the other day. He's got quite a few subscribers. Yeah, I don't know, Wes. That thing did it. It felt real. Like if they faked that black donut video, that's pretty damn good fake. That it just seemed like that's because it matches the other 4 videos I got, and the one that I have that I can get it, even though my site's down, I can look through the database and dig the shit out. There's this guy, I think it was in New Jersey, it was on the East Coast, and he films this black thing, and it's coming at him, right? And it just cruises and it goes by, and he's like, holy shit, and he just pans with it. This thing's booking. There's enough information in that particular video to say that that wasn't a balloon. It was not one of these black circle balloons just thrown up there and it goes by in the wind. So that guy has one. So when you get one legit video, then you go, okay, the black circle is a thing, right? Now, the illumination in the side of it, I don't know. That's the first time I've seen that. But yeah, the black circle is a thing. Oh, Gopstop, thank you so much for that super chat on the 60th show. For some reason it's not coming up. Yeah, they did kind of look like Lazar's. I don't know. See, is that another thing like with the Tic Tac where we don't know, right? Where it's just put out there and then you just go, hey, man, that's got to be fake. Because even with me, I think defensively, that's got to be fake. Because if that's not fake, why are we flying around in these jets? Why are we back engineering these goddamn things? Some other stuff going on. There was another episode of Weaponized came out with Matthew Brown the other day. I didn't watch all of it, didn't have time. I did invest 3 hours into previous episodes of Weaponized with Matt Brown. And because of the 3 hours in that, I didn't spend much time watching hour 4, possibly 5 and 6. But I gotta say, from the clip, because the cliff notes will come out, right? If he drops anything really good, somebody's gonna clip that part out of the show and post it on social media. So from what I heard, it was nothing again. He didn't say anything. So if you forgot, Matthew Brown's a whistleblower. Okay, he is one of the people who is behind the Immaculate Constellation documents. And if you forgot what those are about, a refresher is these documents mention that there's a classified server that the U.S. government has. Just like they have a classified email system, they have a classified LAN. And on this LAN, they have these UFO videos. And in the Immaculate Constellation, it listed kind of in details what these UFO videos are. So Matthew Brown apparently has, I don't know if he's seen these videos or if he just read the document that says these videos exist. I didn't get that far into the weeds. But he didn't reveal anything new. And him and Dylan Borland are forming some type of whistleblower thing. So he was kind of going into details of the harassment level that's going on. And I think he named some names. Jeremy Corbell, man, he can ask some really fucked up questions to these people. George Knapp seems to ask what the viewer, he's really tuned into the viewer, because when he opens his mouth and asks a question, he asks him what I want to hear. Like, yeah, like it's that meme with, you know, that meme with DiCaprio where he's pointing. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. That's what George Knapp does. When Corbell asks him something, different meme. It's, dude, what the fuck? Why did you fucking ask him that? How dare you say that? It's like he accused Matthew Brown. Are you making money off this? Holy shit. Lucky you didn't ask me. You know, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, Corbell, you squeezed enough money off these whistleblowers to buy 2 cyber trucks. You don't have a regular job. You are at the peak of monetizing UFOs, probably even more than Stephen Greer, because Stephen Greer doesn't get on News Nation. He doesn't have TMZ specials. He doesn't have specials on fucking Hulu, right, where you're walking around up and down the Pentagon for 4 miles, is walking, getting pissed in elevators. So for him to accuse somebody of making money off UFOs, I'd be right back at you, bro. Let's see you do anything for free. Jeremy Corbell does not promote anything he can't monetize. So if you go out and shoot a UFO video and it's really good, he don't give a shit, because you own the copyright of that. He can't make money off that. Everything he does and promotes, somehow it comes from taxpayer FLIR footage, from whistleblowers, from stuff that people have sent him in. So that way he can go, okay, I can take ownership of this because it came in the mail and no one else has a copy. So he's for himself, and that's it, right? So for him to come out and say, are you making money off this? This guy lost his livelihood, right? Matthew Brown will never work in the intelligence community again. The best he can do is maybe fucking suck up to Lockheed and get a job for them. Maybe they'll hire him. Maybe Raytheon's UFO or Bob Bigelow will hire him. Maybe he can suck up to Jesse Michael and get on the Peter Thiel payroll, something like that. But for Corbell to come out and say, are you making money off this? You got to be fucking kidding me. You know, that's like pot calling the kettle black, because he ain't doing this out of the goodness of his fucking heart. That's for sure. You don't see Jeremy Corbell going out doing lectures in the desert for free. Does he do his own contact in the desert saying, like Prophet Yahweh, hey, here's my phone number. Here's my address. Call me and I will show you UFOs. Yeah, he doesn't do that. If you're hanging out with Jeremy Corbell, you're paying him, right?
Prophet Yahweh ufologist.
Yeah, but Jeremy Corbell ufologist, Jeremy Corbell ching ching ufologist. So yeah, he has some pretty goddamn shitty questions. So yeah, that in a nutshell is if you want to go watch his new Weaponized, watch it. Should have called it Monetized. Did Shelley make it in? I haven't seen Shelley Montgomery around in a while. Yeah, but you know, the thing is to his credit, he does move the needle. You know, the last video that he got sent in where the object zipped away, it was doing racetrack patterns and then zipped away. That's a pretty good video. So the man isn't perfect, but he's not that good of a journalist as far as his line of his questions going. And I don't know what the fuck is he doing in a skiff. How's he getting in a skiff with a bunch of spooks? It's just weird. It's just weird. So that's ufology for you, man. That's ufology for you. So I'm going to wrap up. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks, Gobstopper, for that super chat. Marcus stopped in. We had our buddy from Gemar from Iraq. Thanks for stopping in. Let me know if you get any more flying humanoid videos over there. And stay safe over there in Iraq while you're watching the missiles fly over. So that's good to hear. All right, I'm going to wrap up. This is episode 60 of 4K Skywatching. Let's take a little bit of look around the valley before we wrap it up. Let's go see what's going on radar here. Oh, let's see. It's nighttime here. 106 up here, 112 up on the roof. There are new versions if you guys do use the UFOs system. There's new versions.
Renegades of this atomic age. This atomic age for renegades.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I love this profession. I am a ufologist.
Hey, we will see you guys on episode 61 of 4K Skywatching. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for the super chats. The support goes for the channel. And you guys just stopping in, leave a comment, hit a like button. I always forget to say this stuff. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't, or thumbs down. I don't give a shit. Subscribe if you want. That's cool. If I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll show you guys some breakdancing videos when I was 14. I've been filming myself with cameras my whole life, but instead of using phones, I use big ass goddamn cameras. So we'll see you guys next time on 4K Skywatching. And thanks for watching it. It keeps me from burning out, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I'm like, fuck it. This is my job. I got to do it, man. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.